Hey, what's up guys, Pattycakes here. I've wanted to test out Dexterity perks in Destiny 2 for a long time, but I've been kind of dragging my feet, and that's because I knew it'd be pretty difficult to put a video like this together. But this week, I decided to dig in and give it a shot. I chose shotguns for testing here because I think the speed of how quickly you can switch to a shotgun is probably the most important swap timing in the entire game. Good defensive play with a shotgun involves being mindful of when to have your primary out and when to have your shotgun out, and reducing that swap speed gives you just a little bit more room for error. So here's the things that I tested. I went through regular Dexterity perks, enhanced Dexterity perks, and stacking 2 Dexterity perks. I tested having quickdraw on a shotgun, and then some exotic armor like Dragon Shadow and Ophidian Aspect. So let's dig in. Before I show you the testing results, I wanted to explain how I got my numbers so you can do your own testing if you want to compare some different setups to mine. I had my primary weapon out, hit my weapon swap key, and then held the fire button just until the shotgun fired its pellets. So the timer you're about to see on screen is measuring the frame just before the gun animation starts moving until the flash of the shotgun pellet comes out of the gun. I figured this was the most meaningful way to illustrate swap speed improvements. First, I wanted to get a baseline with a low handling weapon and a low handling shotgun so that we had the most room for improvement. Here I am testing with the last word and a last man standing shotgun. You can see it's about 49 frames before the shotgun fires. Next, I wanted to illustrate that it's not just the shotgun itself, but also the weapon you're swapping away from. Here's a comparison test using Thorn instead of the last word. You can see that we reduced the swap speed by about 10 frames, just because Thorn has better handling than the last word. Next, I wanted to test regular shotgun dexterity. You can see here we cut off 3 frames for a total of about 46 frames. With enhanced shotgun dexterity, we save another 2 for a total of 44. And with double regular shotgun dexterity, we save 1 extra frame for a total of 43. I need to point out here that although dexterity perks do seem to stack, they cost a lot of energy for a pretty small improvement, so I don't think it makes much sense to stack them when you're losing on a perk like Scavenger for some extra ammo. Next up, I switched out my last man standing shotgun for Mindbender's Ambition with quickdraw. While running this combo without any Scavenger mods, we get a swap speed of 34 frames, which is about 15 less than we had with last man standing. Adding shotgun dexterity to the picture removes 1 more frame for a total of 33, and using enhanced dexterity removes an additional frame for a total of 32. I think the quick conclusion here is that if you have quickdraw on your shotgun, you probably don't need to spend the extra energy on dexterity perks, since even with enhanced dexterity, you're only saving about 2 frames, at least with the setup that I tested. The next topic I wanted to dive into was exotic armor perks. Here we are with our same initial test with the last word, last man standing, and no dexterity perks, but this time using Dragon Shadow with the buff Wraith Metal Mail activated before swapping weapons. You can see we cut down the swap speed to 21 frames. Adding enhanced dexterity drops another 2 frames for a total of 19. Switching to a quickdraw shotgun instead of the dexterity mod brought us back to the original 21 frames. I think this is because Dragon Shadow and quickdraw both seem to work the same way by maxing out the handling stat, so stacking extra handling stat onto the weapon doesn't really do anything. However, adding enhanced dexterity to the picture did shave off 2 frames again, back to 19 total. This was the fastest swap speed of anything I was able to run. Dragon Shadow is really amazing with the recent changes to mobility, recovery, and resilience. I recently did a video testing the effects of class cooldown for hunter dodging. If you haven't seen it yet, there's a link on screen here as well as in the description. Now moving on to Warlock, I did the same test as before but now with the ophidian aspects. Here's the base swap speed with no exotic armor, quickdraw, or dexterity perks, and you can see that we're back to 49 frames. Adding ophidian aspect to the picture dropped us down to 35 frames, which is about 14 less than the baseline. And adding a regular shotgun dexterity mod shaved off an additional frame for a total of 34. Swapping that to enhanced shotgun dexterity cut off another 2 for a total of 32 frames. Using a quickdraw Mindbenders with Ophidian aspect dropped us down to 28 frames. And finally, adding enhanced shotgun dexterity to the picture dropped another 2 frames down to 26, which is the fastest swap speed I was able to achieve on a Warlock. So after all these numbers, I guess the question that remains is, are shotgun dexterity perks worth running? It's situational of course, but I would say that after all of my testing, the answer most of the time is probably no, unless you just don't have anything better to spend the energy on. In my opinion, you're much better off trying to run a shotgun that has quickdraw, or using an exotic like the Dragon Shadow or Ophidian aspect that cuts down the swap speed tremendously. If neither of these options are available and you still really want to get a faster swap speed, then go for dexterity perks, but realize that you're spending maybe 4, 6, or even 10 energy to just save a few frames. And that means you're also likely giving up some scavenger perks unless you're still using some armor 1.0 pieces. So I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know below in the comments if you found anything interesting, or if there's anything else that you would have liked to see me test. I do enjoy making videos like this one, but they tend to be really time consuming and difficult to put together, so leaving a thumbs up rating lets me know that it's worth my time to do another one like this. While you're here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my next video as well. That's all for now. Catch you guys next time.